this is Claudia from Luxdates. I'm on my way to the city for my first coaching meeting. And today what I would like to talk about is long distance relationships. So when I meet clients, I would say about 80% would like to date or meet somebody who lives very close by. This is where in Luxembourg they would like to like this person to live around the corner. If somebody in the north is already too far to swap country. So long distance relationship is something that a lot of people can't really envision for themselves. And to give a little bit of perspective, I would like to tell my story. So I have since my early 20s been more or less living abroad. I was living in England, Czech Republic, Poland, Hungary, and then Hungary for a really long, Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary then for a really long time. So I was always living abroad, and I didn't have that system around me, that friendship system that you develop since early childhood, since we have moved around so much. Also, when I was a child, we moved. And so, I was living abroad, and I was looking for a partner in a country that wasn't my own, in a language that wasn't my own, and I have always had boyfriends in places where I wasn't residing. I had two boyfriends in the US in different time zones. That was very, very difficult. And then, so fast forward, meeting my husband, later first boyfriend, then husband. I was living in Budapest, and he was in Vienna, which is 3 hours in the car, 3 hours on the train as well. But he also lived at that time in Prague, so he was also somebody who had an affinity for moving around and living abroad. And this is how we met. Me in Budapest, and he in Vienna and Prague. So we had this triangle going on. Vienna, Prague, etc. So, and that was nice, and it wasn't really what I would call a long distance relationship. Relatively close by, but then I received a call from Amazon who wanted to hire me in Luxembourg, and I went for the opportunity, and my then boyfriend, now husband, was very supportive. But that is when we really had a long distance relationship. Me in Luxembourg, and he in Vienna and Prague. Yeah, and that went on for 2 years or so. It was difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It was difficult. He did all the traveling because I was really stressed out with my job and my new life, etc. So he would always visit me on weekends, and we would phone and Skype during the meantime. The good thing is that we are both people who don't need to have the partner around, where we don't have a lot of self-doubts about ourselves or the relationship. So for instance, jealousy, the topic I'm talking about today with my client, jealousy was never a topic. So the relationship was always good, but it was hard being apart, and not being able to talk face to face, and but we made it work, and eventually eventually my boyfriend, now husband, asked me to marry him, and he moved to Luxembourg, and we've been living together ever since. And interestingly, it was the first time for both of us that we lived with somebody. So what does that mean? I think if you want to have a long distance, or if you should consider a long distance relationship if there is the opportunity to be together in the future. That means if you are both in jobs where you need to be in your city or in your country, let's say you work for the government or you work for a very local role, it's not the optimal situation, unless at some point in your life you could consider a career change. So I would say that's really important, that you from a professional point of view, then there needs to be the possibility to move at some point in your life. You definitely need to be open to change. That is very important. And I think it's also beneficial if you want to have closeness with your partner, but at the same time you're okay with distance. And that is not only geographical distance, but when you feel that you don't have to do everything with your partner. So yeah, long story short, so for us it worked out. I can only encourage people to at least try. I know couples that have been living long distance relationships for a long time, and it works for them. They work it out between themselves. It's not for everybody, but you should not disconsider somebody who lives not right around the corner simply because it doesn't match your idea of a fulfilled relationship. So the relationship can develop into this closeness, even if you're geographically apart. So these are my thoughts on long distance relationships. Shared a little bit of my story. Have a great day. Bye bye.